What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mistick's MMOs. I'm your host, Mistick Raven. All right, so I've already put out my non-PetSorc build for the Deadlands. So today I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys to my PetSorc build for the Deadlands, because I know a lot of people like to play with the PetSorc. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the character sheet, shall we? All right. So, max Magicka is at 30,000, Magic Recovery 1492. Max Health's a little high because we are Khajiit, but you don't have to go Khajiit. You can go with the High Elf or the Dunmer. Those two races are really good, or even the Orc. All of those races would be good. But, you know, you'd have to, you know, maybe glyph one on your gear to make up for that health loss. So just a heads up. The pets also give us a passive that increases our health too, so you may not need it. So just a heads up, we do get a health increase by 20%. Okay. Spell damage currently is at 3,697. Crit currently is at 39,000. Spell pen and physical penetration 6-8. That's a little high, but given the fact that we want that critical level up on the Sorc, you know, you don't want to drop the critical level too low on this build. So if you wanted to go with one more medium, you could, but just be aware that in the light armor passives, you're going to go ahead and get Prodigy. So if you drop it down, just a heads up. Okay. And then of course, back bar, we dropped the weapon crit a little low, but everything else looks the same. Now, also keep in mind, everything's been allocated into max Magicka. We're going to be using the Thief Mundus and of course, Ghastly Eyeballs. Okay. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the gear, shall we? Okay, so we're going to be using Tuscavans. Tuscavans, this update on a mag tune is really good because it carries over. I really do like this set, as, you know, a lot of base sets, if you're going to use like a Maelstrom Staff or any other type of weapon, it really has that functionality where we have limited choices. And given the fact that it is also a medium, it gives us a lot more customization towards stat pulling. So that's really good. Berserking Warrior works really well as too, if you wanted to use that set instead, because it has the same effect. So, but for this, we'll use Tuscavans with the shock damage. Important that you're going to put shock, not flame, because you, as a Sorc, you get that bonus towards shock damage. Of course, it's going to be precise. Now, of course, we get critical penetration. When you deal critical damage, you gain a stack of precision, increasing your critical chance by 177. This is kind of where Berserking Warrior kind of has a nice, you know, effect too. So just a heads up. We're going, of course, going to be using the Maelstrom Perfected Lightning Staff. Now, keep in mind, Tuscavan is flame. We want the flame staff. Why? Because it increases our single target damage into the passives, under destruction, under ancient knowledge. You want that flame staff, okay? But you want to glyph it with shock. Maelstrom Perfected Staff, AoEs will go on this bar. It is infused with a weapon damage and spell damage increase. Okay, no brainer. For this build, we will be going with the Maul of the Infernal, because it's a pet. It'll give us max Magicka, and when we deal light attacks, we're going to get this pet. It goes well with the set up. It's just, you know, it's a no-brainer. Just, it's, you know, it's going to, this one's going to be infused max Magicka. Going with the extra divine doesn't give me an extra one. Doesn't even give me a %. So I wanted to go ahead and scale the max Magicka. Okay. We got the second set we're going to use is the Ritualist. Now this is going to give us max Magicka, max Magicka, max Magicka. And that's why we're going to scale more max Magicka with the infused. Dealing damage to an enemy applies Ritualist mark to them for 10 seconds. enemies within your Ritualist mark take an additional 16% damage from your summoned pets. That's why we want the Maw of the Inferno. And when we get into the skills, I'll show you what else. But yeah, this is really, really good set for any PetSorc build. Or any pet build. This set is really good on Necro, Macro too. So really good. Of course, this is Divine Max Magicka. The shoulders are going to be medium. So we have 2 pieces of medium, both in the monster sets. Divine Max Magicka, Ritualist Divine Max Magicka, Ritualist Divine Max Magicka, Breaches, Divine Max Magicka shoes. So Ritualist is going to be static at all times. Then, of course, 3 pieces of Tuscavin's Jewelry, 2 infused, 1 bloodthirsty. With that being done, let's go ahead and go over the skills. Okay, primary bar. You want Daedric Prey all day, every day. Why? While the curse is active, your pets deal an additional 20% damage to the target. You want this. It'll stack with the Ritualist. You want it. Our spammable will be Crushing Shock. Also nice for the interrupts. Crystal Frags. Love it. Of course, we have the Volatile Familiar and the Tormentor. We're going to put Flawless Dawnbreaker on this bar due to the scaling into the Fighters Guild. So we'll get an additional 3% towards our spell damage. Also keep in mind that Sorcs, for every Sorc ability slotted, okay? For every Sorc ability slotted... No. I think it's under Stormcaller. Right here. Increase your weapon and spell damage by 2% for each Sorc ability slot. We have 4 on both bars. That's going to give us 8. 8. We want that. Okay. Add that with the Fighters Guild on the 3. Add the 6 with the 2 medium passive. We are looking really good for scaling for the build. Okay. Really, really good. Back bar. I would rather use Lightning Flood. If you want to put orbs here, you can, but notice your spell damage will go down. That's why I didn't. Also, quick note. If you're having problems with your pet surviving, which can happen, it can, then you would take your ward and you put it here. Okay? If you're going to use a ward, I would suggest the Empowering because it's going to give you more resources, but if you need the higher capability, take the Hardening. Okay? So Flex Spot, really nice Flex Spot here. But I do recommend keeping the Lightning Flood instead. A lot of people want to put orbs on Sorcs. That's not kosher because under Storm, you get the shock bonus by 5%. It deals less. Then we get the Ancient Knowledge, adds 10 on AoEs. It has a synergy. Why are you putting orbs on a Sorc? I ask. Of course, Lightweight Beast Trap. This will give us our minor force. Plus has a nice range capability. We don't have to get on top of the target. And then, of course, in the Fighters Guild, we'll get that additional 3% that we're going to keep consistent. Of course, Unstable Wall for our Maelstrom Staff. Then we have to have both pets on both bars. Our primary ulti is going to be the Summon Atronach because it's going to be affected by the Ritualist as well. Okay. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and see what we got. Now I'm just going to build up. Once that blows, you want to make sure the curse is up at all times. So your pets are going to get that bonus damage, okay? And then we go in and we're at 5-2 and 65 crit. Make sure you're also having the wall down. It's really going to be important. Alright. Now we're up to 5-9 on the spell. Now, the Ritualist isn't going to go on the character sheet. You're not going to see that damage bonus until you test it or, you know, and see the metrics for yourself. But it is probably currently one of the top sets for any pet class. But you're going to be dependent on a critical set and speccing your light armor appropriately. With that said, I'm going to let you guys go. I want to thank everybody for the support. I really do. You guys have been awesome. As always, I'm Mr. Craven. This is Mistick's MMOs. Have a nice day.